Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for?
This person literally got heaven on camera. Check this out. If you believe heaven is real, subscribe or follow now.
NASA captured heaven in an image.
Pay attention and listen, because NASA found heaven using the Hubble telescope. Look.
Hey, the Hubble telescope launched back in 1990. 4 years later, 1994, we get that image right there. Okay, shot back down to Earth from the Hubble telescope. Now, what did NASA do? Of course, they tried to hide it, but it didn't work. Now, by the way, that picture right there, my uncle gave me that picture. It was taken by a photographer at Ellington Airfield of the Hubble telescope. You guys know my uncle worked at NASA, and he told me that NASA, does in fact try to hide images and anomalies from the public. Okay, I just wanted to include that little tidbit of information in my video today. By the way, my microphone shorted out. I'm using a different microphone, guys. But check it out. I mean, look, you can see towers, pillars, caves. I mean, it looks like a man-made building. Okay, this galactic city in the middle of the universe. I mean, this is mind-blowing. I thought it was fake, but this, like I said, guys, this is a real NASA image leaked to the public. And I don't know why I've never heard about it. I was watching another channel last night, and they covered the topic here, and I was blown away. I mean, it's quite beautiful, actually. And the crazy thing is, okay, when it was leaked back in 1994, it was one day after Christmas. So was that intentional? Because they're calling it, the city of God. So to me, I mean, I don't know. Was that someone at NASA that, is basically trying to send us, the American people, the Earth, the world, for the world, really, when we're talking about the Hubble telescope, are they trying to send us a message? I mean, what are we looking at here, guys? Crazy. I mean, it reminds me of ancient ruins on Mars or the moon or any planet for that matter. But check it out. And it has these weird domes and tower, almost like a watchtower, and you can actually see different rooms. And I mean, to me, there's too many shapes and there's too much geography there. It doesn't look natural. Okay? And again, it's very beautiful to look at. When I saw it, I just kind of stared at it for a while. I was like, wow, that is absolutely beautiful. But I mean, right there's the original image right there. I did add a little bit of a filter, but like I said, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you the original NASA image untouched. And also, we're going to zoom in here in a minute and, get a really a good close look at it. Because you guys know I do everything I can to show you every bit of detail. I mean, right there, guys. Here we go. We're going to zoom in a little bit. I mean, that to me, I don't know. That does not look natural. And why would something like that be literally floating in space, right? And right there, you see that little tower? And is that like a little moon? Maybe they have two moons behind them. It looks like a city. Like something you would see on Google Maps. I mean, totally crazy. There's a little tunnel right there, some caves, and almost like a V-shaped roof back there. Some type of awning. I don't know, guys. I mean, you tell me. You tell me what you think in the comment section, because, I'm completely blown away here. And when you put all the facts together, the fact that it was leaked, okay, NASA tried to classify the picture, right? They tried to hide the picture from the public, but it was too late. Reporters already had their hands on it. And by the way, it's kind of buried on the internet.
Pay attention to what he said, because his father used to work for NASA, and NASA would withhold images from the public. They didn't want anyone seeing these images. But this image right here is the one that got leaked. in 1994. Now, the fact that this is a confirmed leak image from NASA and that the Hubble Space Telescope took this image, this holds some weight to it, and I'm finding it hard not to believe. But I'm gonna do some digging and see what I could find. All you gotta do is continue to pay attention because things are getting weird.
My son Colton was 4 when he had a burst appendix. He was rushed to the hospital and had emergency surgery, but thankfully, he was okay. Kids say some funny things, so when he spoke about things he saw during the surgery, we didn't think much of it. It was a few months later, however, that we realized he was making some claims that we couldn't ignore. In the car one day, Colton asked me,
"Did you have a grandpa named Pop?"
I said yes, and that he died when I was about Colton's age.
"He's really nice."
I nearly veered off the road. It's a crazy moment when your son uses present tense, referring to someone who had died many years before they were born. Colton said he had met Pop in heaven. When we got home, I showed Colton the last picture of Pop I had. He was 62, with white hair and glasses. Colton shook his head. He didn't recognize him.
"Dad, nobody's old in heaven, and nobody wears glasses."
I had my mom send a younger photo of Pop when he was 29, standing next to 3 people, including Colton's great-grandmother, who was still alive. He didn't recognize anyone else, but immediately he said,
"Hey, how did you get a picture of Pop?"
This was definitely unusual, and Colton gave us another surprise later that October.
"Mum, I have 2 sisters."
No, you have one sister, Cassie.
My wife Sonia replied,
Are you thinking of your cousin Tracy?
"No, I have 2 sisters. You had a baby die in your tummy, didn't you?"
Time stopped in that moment.
Honey, who told you that?
"She did."
We had never told Colton about Sonia's miscarriage. She became very emotional.
"It's okay, Mummy. God adopted her."
We asked him what her name was, but Colton said that we hadn't given her one. He was right about that too. We didn't even know the baby was a she.
She said she just can't wait for you and Daddy to get to heaven.
Have you seen this video? They captured an angel of light caught on camera, and this is one of the things that they're not showing us. This happened in Texas. Many witness reports seeing this creature around 4 p.m. People are saying it had wings that you could see, and it had a cape. Some people even say this could be Lucifer. We don't know.
Well, more than 90% of people believe there is an afterlife, according to our Today.com poll. But what exactly is it? Some people claim they know because they've actually experienced it. They share incredible stories like reconnecting with deceased loved ones or learning the meaning of life. The accounts are vivid and dramatic, but are they imaginary? Are they a true glimpse into life after death?
It's transformational. It's awesome.
Pure love, pure joy, pure bliss.
Peace, ecstasy, harmony. There was no fear, there's no hierarchy.
It was just so wonderful.
It was amazing.
The accounts are remarkable and widespread.
I knew instantly I was in the presence of my Creator.
It changed me as a person.
This life is not all there is.
From the young to the old, transcending language, culture, and geography.
It was really life-changing to have that near-death experience.
It redefined Barbara Bartolome's journey at the age of 31. You went into the hospital, you were having a surgical procedure. What happened?
I was having a myelogram, which is injecting iodine dye into the base of my neck.
The dye accidentally went into her brain, she says, and within moments, consciousness was gone and she was flatlining.
I literally went from inside my body, and when I shut my eyes, I was then just the next second I was up on the ceiling looking down at the entire room.
The feeling like nothing she'd ever known.
There was this feeling of a presence that was next to me. It felt like it was God. It felt so loving and so accepting and so eternal. I literally looked down and said, huh, If I'm up here and my body's down there, then I think I must have just died.
So you just felt a presence, an aura, but you didn't see anything.
I didn't look. I was just watching everything happening below me.
But she wasn't ready to die yet, Barbara recalls.
I just began calmly talking to it and saying how much I wanted to go back into my life because my baby daughter was only 5 months old at the time and my son was 8 years old.
Pledging to make changes in her life, Barbara says she was suddenly back.
I shut my eyes up on the ceiling and reopened them, and I was looking right into the orthopedic surgeon's face.
It was striking. From that moment on, she was filled with love, peace, and purpose.
The loss of fear of death is so amazing.
It really doesn't matter if we prove this phenomena exists or not. What is central is what the patient in front of us is experiencing.
Lauren Belge is a critical care physician and author of Near Death in the ICU.
We know that they're clinically dead, and then whenever they are revived, they will actually explain to us what they saw in sometimes exquisite detail about the process of resuscitation.
She estimates seeing at least 50 patients firsthand who recounted a near-death experience.
They may have encounters with loved ones that have gone before them or spiritual beings that actually fit their belief system, and an extreme reluctance to come back to their physical facility after experiencing a sense of intense love and peace.
For many years, Barbara Bartolome didn't openly discuss her near-death experience until she began seeking out others. She became involved with the International Association for Near-Death Studies, a large organization dedicated to research, support, and education. More than 15 million Americans may have had a near-death experience, the group estimates.
This organization helps experiencers with acclimating to their near-death experience.
Is it a gift?
It is a gift.
Barbara now runs her local chapter.
I realized that talking about my near-death experience is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's the peace that I'm supposed to give. It's the gift.
For somebody who is possibly facing death right now, what do you want them to know?
That they don't need to fear it.
In completing her purpose, she's also spreading love, hope, and understanding.
Doing your best to be a good person, I think, through your life here is all that you're really being asked to do.
Now, there are many skeptics who believe these accounts are imaginary or a hallucination or simply made up. Barbara and those in the near-death community just dismiss the skeptics. They say it is their truth and they know that it's real. So you may be wondering what the science says about it all. Is there a way to prove it? Well, in fact, there may be. Doctors and scientists are conducting new research in the field, and we're going to take a closer look at that tomorrow. Guys, back to you.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
It really is.
Yeah, and if it makes that woman feel at more peace,
Sure.
then, you know, who's to argue with that? Natalie, good seeing you. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye
Happy
now.
holidays.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.
I was above my body. I could see them doing chest compressions. I could see them, all the nurses around. I could smell the most beautiful flowers I've ever smelled. And then I heard music. When I opened my eyes, I knew where I was. I knew I was in heaven.
In 2019, Charlotte Holmes was having a routine checkup with her cardiologist when her blood pressure spiked to 234/134.
My heart doctor said, "You're not going home. We're going to put you in the hospital. We've got to get that blood pressure down. It's got to come down. You're having another stroke, or you're going to have a heart attack." They put me in a room and started an IV just to, try to get that blood pressure down.
Charlotte's husband, Danny, stayed with her while the hospital staff tended to her.
Immediately, they called this code, and everybody started rushing in. They just started working on her. And my feelings was, I thought, boy, I'm wondering if I'm even going to be able to bring her home.
Charlotte began describing things to Danny.
She started talking about the flowers. Well, I looked around and I knew there was no flowers in that room. That's when I knew she was not in this world when that was going on.
Charlotte's heart stopped. For the next 11 minutes, she was clinically dead.
I was above my body. I could see Danny standing in the corner. he had backed up. I could see them, all the nurses around. Then I opened my eyes. I looked around at the beauty. I could see the trees, I could see the grass, and everything was swaying with the music, because everything in heaven worships God. I can't convey to you what heaven looked like, because it's so above what we could even imagine, 1,000,000 times.
Charlotte says she was led into heaven by angels.
There's no fear. It's like pure joy. When the angels takes over, there's no fear. When you're going home, it's pure joy.
She says she then began to recognize deceased family members.
I seen my mom. I seen my dad. I seen my sister. I seen family members standing behind. I seen saints of old. See, they didn't look old. They didn't look sick. None of them wore glasses. They looked like they were in their 30s. But yet it says in the scriptures, we will be known as we were known. I knew them there, in their new bodies. They looked wonderful.
What Charlotte saw after that, however, shocked her.
Standing behind my mom and dad was a light so bright, I couldn't look upon it. I mean, it was so bright. But I knew it was my Heavenly Father. I seen a toddler. And that toddler, I couldn't understand. And I can remember thinking, who is this? And I heard my Father say to me, my Heavenly Father say to me, it's your child. I lost that child. I was 5.5 months pregnant. I can remember them holding the baby up and saying, Charlotte, it's a boy. Then he was gone. So when I seen this toddler, I said, God, how is that possible? He says, they continue to grow in heaven, but there's no time. It's eternity. So 48 years, and here my child, our child, is a toddler.
Then God chose to show her one more thing.
God took me to the edge of hell, and I looked down, and the smell, and then rotten flesh. That's what it smelled like, and screams. After seeing the beauty of heaven, the contrast to seeing hell is almost unbearable. And he says, I show you this to tell you, if some of them do not change their ways, this is where they shall reside. I heard my Father say, you have time to go back and share.
As quickly as she had gone to heaven, Charlotte's spirit came back.
I felt myself being drawn into my body. I felt the pain where I hadn't felt pain. I felt the sorrow. Danny said that they come running in and your eye blinked. And he said, I knew then I was going to get to bring you home.
Charlotte made a full recovery and was released from the hospital after 2 weeks. She has been sharing her story since then, in public appearances and with everyone she comes in contact with.
People need hope. They want to know that there really is something out there. They want to know that everything's okay. I have been privileged to bring people to Christ, as he asked me to do. All the authority that he had, he has given to us in the name of Jesus Christ. Not because of who we are. God promises us. He said, if it were not so, I would have told you. But he's gone to prepare us a place. Heaven is more than you can imagine. I can look you square in the eye and tell you for sure, heaven is real.
Jesus, help me through this. Help me through this. And I began to breathe. This has changed my life by increasing my faith even.
Feeling the pressure change. Okay, I have my hand on the door. Feeling the pressure change. at my